The best of the Morning X. Thanks for listening. We hope there's no permanent damage. 99X.
A lot of people do a lot of things for different reasons. A lot of people have motivation from some people maybe who are sick or who are ill or problems in their family. And I'm one of them. I'm involved heavily with MDA because my dad's got MDA, and I know that's something that really motivates you, and it shouldn't be a reason to motivate you to do stuff like that. Just unfortunately, that's how the world works. People who are affected, you tend to jump onto something like that and put your energy into it. That's what this guy Jeff did, Jeff Altz.
Your dad has MD, not MDA.
MDA, well, yeah, MD.
Right.
Not MDA. MDA is who I do the work for.
Right.
He's got MD.
Do a good job, yeah.
And Jeff Altz, his brother. Now, what does his brother have? His brother...
Well...
I forgot. You aren't ready.
Luckily, we can ask him.
Yeah, Jeff. Jeff, what is it your brother has?
Good morning. My brother has cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy. And so you took it upon yourself to hike the Appalachian Trail to raise money and awareness for your brother. And how was this done? Was this one of those, give me a certain amount of money for every mile I walk, or was it more just to raise attention, or what?
I left it open-ended, not by mile or anything, but I just asked for donations for the walk I was doing. And
how much did it cost you just to do this walk? I mean, you had to have some kind of overhead.
Yeah, I accrued about $4,000 in expenses, but a lot of the equipment was donated from manufacturers because they realized, the cause I was walking for. So I trimmed it by a few $1,000s.
Did you stay in hotels? Did you sleep out in tents? Or what did you do?
I slept in the woods for the most part.
Ooh.
Yeah, once a week you'd head down into a town and resupply with a box from a post office, and then you'd keep going.
How many miles did you walk?
In the end, I walked 2,160 miles.
Wow.
And explain where you started, in what state, and where you finished, so we have an idea.
I started just an hour and a half north of you guys up there in Amicalola Falls State Park in Georgia. That's the southern terminus of the Appalachian Trail.
Uh-huh.
And I then walked through 14 states all the way up to Mount Katahdin in Maine.
How did you come up with the Appalachian Trail as your destination?
Ever since I was a child, my family went camping in the Great Smoky Mountains and various places around there, so it was kind of ingrained in me. So it was almost like a natural fit to do this. And I learned to associate the wilderness with problem solving, because you remove yourself from the clutter of life, road rage, over commercialization, and you can just step out of that and really determine what's important in life.
How long did it take you, Jeff?
147 days.
And I'm sure during those 147 days you encountered a few dilemmas. You want to talk about those?
Sure. In Georgia, I specifically, I'll never forget the second night on the trail. It was really cold, 20 degrees when I stopped for the night. So after I got something to eat, I jumped in my sleeping bag, and I'm actually falling asleep. I'm inside this little lean-to shelter, and I can't see a thing. It's pitch black. I feel the weight of an animal drop on my feet, and I thought, this is it. I have no idea what is on me. So my heart's racing. I grab my flashlight, turn it on, aim it down. There's a skunk on my sleeping bag.
Nice.
So I kick it off, and the tail goes up, and then it runs under the shelter. So I light a candle, hoping that keep it away.
Mm-hmm.
It jumps right back up, kneads my sleeping bag like a cat. It slept the entire night on my feet.
Never sprayed you?
No, just wanted to keep warm.
Just wanted to be your friend.
Did you really get chased by a bull?
I did. I was up in New York, and you walk through cow pastures, and I got pretty used to this. I got nervous the first couple times because you climb up over a ladder into this pasture, and those are some big animals, and they'd stop grazing and look at you, but then they'd go back to grazing. Well, I'm in New York, and I'm walking through this cow pasture. Well, there's bulls in this pack of cows, and they separate and start walking towards me. So I'm a little nervous. I have a red backpack on, and but they get like about 10, 15 yards away from me, two big bulls, and I'm about 15 yards from the fence I just climbed over. And so I hold out my hiking pole, and I yell, back, back. And that just made the one mad. He puts his head down and runs right towards me in a full charge. My life passes before my eyes. I turn around, I run back. As soon as my feet hit this ladder, I jump. And I'm airborne briefly. I crash on the other side of the fence, and I'm just thinking, God, there's a fence between the bull and I. And I hear someone laughing. I look up. A car had seen the whole thing. They pulled off the road, and they're laughing. And a voice yells out the driver's window. It says, "You shouldn't have looked at the heifers."
Oh, God.
No Contest Wrestling. O'Shea Jackson Jr. and TJ Jefferson with the biggest names in the game.
Give it up for the Dark Angel.
First
La
one.
Primera. First
I can't believe it.
NXT double champion. Welcome to King, Lexus King.
I don't know if I'd be where I'm at now if I didn't take the path that I took.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jada Parker.
What made you, after the soccer career, go WWE?
The answer I always have to that is like, why not?
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Now, Jeff, let me give you a little bit of advice. Now, first of all, we're talking to Jeff Altz. He walked 2,160 miles along the Appalachian Trail from Georgia to Maine in an effort to raise money and awareness for his brother with cerebral palsy. See, Jeff, you sound like a very happy, friendly, upbeat guy. When you're telling these stories, you got to really... You gotta make it sound a lot more dramatic. A bull ran me down.
I was charged by a bear.
Those are stories right out of my book, A Walk for Sunshine, and it explains it in more detail than I just briefly summed up.
Now, I have to tell you, the only thing that I really know about the Appalachian Trail, I don't know that much about it other than what I heard on the news when they were chasing Eric Rudolph and all that. And I would hear the stories that the Appalachian Trail is so thick. It's not like a trail like people think, where it's like a little carved
path.
out, like
Here,
a path,
follow
right?
here.
And that people have described it as being literally so thick that in the broad daylight, for 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it was pitch black because it's so dense. Can you talk about that?
In parts of the woods, just like in any forest, you get into a shaded area and it's dark, sure, but it walks across open prairies. It walks right down Main Street of many little towns. It's different all along the way.
Did you ever, because you were hiking by yourself, right?
Right.
And, I know that one of the things when you're doing things for long periods of time by yourself, your mind starts playing tricks on you. Did you start suffering from stir craziness, or did your mind start playing games?
Well, you know that Survivor show, how a couple weeks ago the women were laying in the tent and they're comparing chocolate to sex?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, on the trail, you're walking every day, and they've scientifically proven that your endorphins increase with exercise, which increases your sex drive. Basically, out there, you don't need chocolate to have some of these thoughts going on. So my mind encompassed food, sex, and shelter. Sleep, part of Maslow's hierarchy. And so that's all you think about food, you eat food. You think about sex, you don't get any.
Did you think about, like, as you're walking, do songs pop into your head? Did you, like, write a book in your head or, try to memorize all the states?
It's called A Walk for Sunshine, Jimmy. It's available in bookstores everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, when you're walking, like, what would you do to keep your mind active?
Yeah. Some hikers would carry an AM/FM little radio to listen to. The other hikers are the most entertaining thing for me. So I would just, there's journals in every shelter, and there's a shelter about every 10 to 12 miles apart, and you can read about what hikers ahead of you and leave notes for people behind you. So that's kind of a form of written entertainment out there, and you're leaving kind of jokes for people and stuff like that.
Well, people can read some excerpts at awalkforsunshine.com. I'm curious, how did this thing change you? How did the whole walking 2,160 miles and for the cause you did it for your brother, how did it change you as a person?
It made me realize that, some people can't just pick up and go pursue a goal like you and I can because of disabilities. But then, I shared my dream with my brother by sending him postcards the whole way, and he could follow my trip on a map, and he celebrated my triumph with me. But it also made me realize that it's the simple things in life that are important. My family, my friends, and the mountains are what I enjoy the most, and that's my family and friends were there from the beginning to end as I walked through the mountains, and even today now I lead a simple life. We don't collect a lot of clutter or furniture we don't use, and I'm moving to the mountain region again because I want to stay closer to the mountains, and I just I think I already knew these things before I left, but walking all that way just helped me reaffirm that, it's the simple things in life.
Hey, Jeff, how can people get your book, A Walk for Sunshine?
Yeah, it's available on Amazon and all the bookstores. You can check out my website at www.awalkforsunshine.com.
Did you lose a lot of weight, Jeff?
I lost 30 pounds.
Wow.
And you burn 6,000 calories a day. That's like running 2 marathons every day.
So how much weight was on your back?
50 pounds.
50 pounds. Barnes, this sounds like an activity you'd enjoy.
Yeah, I'm going to get started
50
right now.
50 pounds on your back, hiking for 145 days.
Hey,
They call it the Appalachian diet plan.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if I came into a town and there was an all-you-can-eat buffet, we would take the profits out of the buffet.
Yeah.
The book's only $14.95, and it's a great inspirational read. It's called A Walk for Sunshine. Thank you, Jeff Altz.
Hey, thank you, guys.
The best of the Morning X. 99X.
Former MLB All-Star Sean Casey, a.k.a. The Mayor, keeps hitting it out of the park.
Take my 30 years of experience. Take the wisdom and knowledge I've learned from the failures when I got sent down my rookie year, all the injuries I had to overcome. Your mind is the most important tool you have in life. Be relentless. Keep charging. It matters how you talk to yourself, how you look at the world. That matters. We talk about that. I don't know. I'm fired up. Baseball's back, and it's going to be incredible. I love it.
The Mayor's Office with Sean Casey from Believe.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.